Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the Heart Pirates TCG here, and I'm actually bringing you the video that I thought I was going to be bringing you yesterday. So we're just going to call this an extension of the first video. We're going to call this this video will win you tournaments part 2. And I'm just going to go over everything that I talked about and more in my first video, and just double down on some points just in case you overheard or weren't paying attention at specific times. So in the kid mirror, you want to go ideally second, right? Unfortunately, I went second and did not have anything to play, which is not a good start. The reason you want to go second is because you can deal with their Okiku better than they can deal with your Okiku, right? So on their turn 2, they play Okiku. On your turn 2, you can play Nekamamushi and then put 2 on your kid, and then swing at 7 against their Okiku. Now that's the ideal strategy. That's kind of the thought process behind it. Also, you're going to get an extra card, which is huge in the kid mirror. Also, you can do a Capone and Bonnie at the same time. Now, I sped up this video just a little bit because it was a bit of a longer game. So he has double beige and Hawkins, and I have an Okiku. Now, this looks very familiar if you watched my first video. How do I get out of this? I actually remember how I get out of this one, guys. So stay tuned for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and put 6 on Okiku, and I'm gonna rest his beige, and then I'm gonna swing at his beige for 5, and then he's not gonna block that because there's no point, and then I'm gonna play a law, and then I'm gonna pick up the Okiku, and then I'm gonna put it back down. Obviously, guys, if you saw my first video, you do not ever leave a character unrested, because that is just I mean, that's like, you will get completely stomped in a mirror if you leave characters rested when you shouldn't have, because every card counts. Also, it's very important because not only is Law a blocker, but he also helps establish your board in the future, right? Now, because I had 6 Dawn that turn, I have Okiku and Law, and I'm perfectly set up for an 8-drop kid play. So we'll see if I actually do play him that turn. I don't remember exactly. I remember how this game ends, but I don't remember how, like, the in-between. So we're going to kind of find that together. So he's going to swing 7 at my life. And guys, remember I said in my last video, you never swing at life in a mirror, especially when you just don't have, like, the resources to deal with that. Swinging at life is a terrible idea, because I'm just going to get free cards to save my kid. All right. Now he's doing what he should be doing, is surrounding his Hawkins with a ton of blockers, so I can't rest him. In the world where I have Okiku, this is the perfect way to protect him, because there's no possible way I can rest his Hawkins and then kill, and kill it in the same turn. And then I'm gonna rest a bunch of characters and lose ground, and he's gonna stomp over him, and I basically lose the game. So we're gonna just stare at each other for a little bit. He's up to 9 Dawn now, and next turn I'll be up to 10 Dawn. I did drop that 8-drop kid, so now I have a very good board. I got Law, Okiku, and I have 8-drop kid. Now, right here, a straw sword would be completely terrible, but he's not gonna, I mean, he hasn't done that yet. He's gonna swing 5 at my life, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that because I already have the kid out, and I need more cards to protect him in case that Hawkins does run amok. So then he's going to play his own 8-drop kid and put 1 on killer and pass. So 3 blockers, a Hawkins and a kid, compared to my 1 blocker, Okiku and kid. So guys, he's building the board pretty good. And then I play Nekamamushi, and then I rest his killer, so he doesn't get the free draw here. I'm most likely going to swing at this with my leader, but I don't remember exactly what. I'm going to actually I'm going to swing at his killer, and I'm gonna rest his Hawkins. So he has 2 blockers left, but I have a ton of Dawn to actually make a big difference, and we'll see if I actually do. Then I'm gonna swing 7 at his Hawkins, which I actually think is the wrong amount. I should have swung for 8 here. That's why I didn't. So I swung 7 at his Hawkins. He countered out of it, or he blocked it, and then I played Law, and I picked up my Okiku, and I played it, and I put it back down. I'm not leaving anything unrested, and I took out 2 of his characters this turn. So I'm in actually a very commanding position here, guys. Then he's gonna play Momo. He realizes I'm in a losing position, or that he's in a losing position, so now he has to dig for some answers too. Momo obviously can search for either Raizo or Okiku, and he wants his own Okiku. Now Izo is also just as good because Izo can rest your own Okiku. That's kind of what he was looking for as well. So he rested my Okiku with an Izo that he got off of Momo. And he doesn't have a whole lot of Dawn up now. He only has 5 Dawn left because he used 2 for Momo, 3 for Izo. So he's not really going to get a whole lot of value. He puts 1 on Hawkins. He's going to swing 7 at my Okiku. I'm just going to let it die because I'm pretty sure I have another one in my hand. So you kill that thing, I'm like a Hydra, bro. Like another one takes his place. No need to you know, use resources for that. I'm not really trying to swing anytime soon, anyway, because I still don't really have, like, until you have Hawkins, you can't really deal with a board that has 8-drop Kid in a way that actually is like valuable. You know, that you're going to be getting value. So you just kind of just play a little bit less aggro than you normally would. And guys, what did I tell you? Like he was playing aggro, and it's when you have 8-drop Kid out, you should not play too aggro, because I have more cards to protect my guy than he does. Look at his hand compared to mine. I just did a little fan out, kind of contemplating my next moves, and I have a ton of cards in my hand, guys. So always be cognizant of what resources you're giving your opponent, and you know what your opponent can do with those resources. Now, I don't have Hawkins, but if you keep swinging at my life, I sure as hell might find him. I sure as hell might find him, and then we're off to the races, my friend. Because if I can play, you know, Hawkins, and then I'm pretty sure I have another Okiku in my hand, I'm gonna start swinging next turn, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm either killing your Hawkins, or I'm gonna do a whole lot of damage. So you better rest that Kid, or your Hawkins is gonna die. And I'm gonna have my own Hawkins to establish. So there's nothing but upside for me in this game. So I'm gonna swing 5 at his Momo. He's not even gonna bother to protect that. That thing is Dunyan rings, absolute Dunyan rings. I got 2 life to his 4 life. Ton of cards in my hand, so I see a ton of value here. I rest 5. I'm pretty sure I found the Hawkins. Yep, I think I actually found that Hawkins off life, believe it or not. Now I'm gonna rest 3. I'm gonna play the Okiku, and then I'm gonna pass, I believe, with 5 life. And that's not good for him, guys. That is not good for him in the slightest. So I'm representing Punk Gibson. I go ahead and pass. He's in a losing position here, and he knows it. So now he needs to start swinging at my life and try to kill me. Like his only way of like outplaying what I'm going to be doing here is like when you see your opponent is in a huge like advantage over you, like as far as board or hand. And in this case for me, it's both. You gotta try to kill me this turn. Like you have to do everything you can to try to kill me this turn. However, I have 2 blockers, and you're not going to get by. So how is he gonna, like, let's see how he tries to deal with it. I see in his hand he has a Paradise Waterfall. That's not really going to help him in this situation. I guess it kind of could if you unrest your Kid. I don't know, I guess that could work. Paradise Waterfall is really good, but then again, if you unrest your Kid, you can't really swing with your other character. You can't swing with your Hawkins, because then I'm gonna swing at your Hawkins and kill him. So how is he gonna play this out? He rests 5 Dawn. So obviously, so he plays Law, he puts the Izo back in his hand, he plays the Izo, and then he's gonna try to chip away at my board now to prevent the Izo from, because the Izo really does damage here, guys. It rests all of his blockers, like it does a whole lot of stuff. Then he's gonna put 1 Dawn on Hawkins and swing 7 to my 5. And I'm pretty sure I'm representing a Punk Gibson here, so it wasn't a mistake because he had to do something. But then I'm gonna play I'm gonna counter out of that with 2, and then I'm gonna play Paradise Waterfall. I'm gonna put it right back up. So sorry buddy, you're not like, that's why Paradise Waterfall is a huge card in this game, because if the opponent is playing Straw Sword to rest one of your characters, and you don't expect it, like leaving that 1 Dawn up, even if you're bluffing a lot of times, like they'll respect the Paradise Waterfall and either commit too much Dawn or not even try some of their strategies. So now it's my turn. I have every piece that I need. I'm gonna start swinging at his life. I'm gonna swing 5 at his life, or 6 at his life. I'm gonna rest that Hawkins. He's probably gonna take that because there's no reason not to take it. And yep, he's gonna take it. No trigger. That's good. And now I'm gonna start swinging at that Hawkins like if I don't kill it, then I die next turn. So I put 4 on Hawkins, I swing 10 to his 6. I have to kill that thing. So he's gonna block that with Beige. This first attack, which is totally fine, and then he's gonna play Paradise Waterfall and put it right back up. So that's not good. I mean, I was actually reading a Punk Gibson, which is why I put 10 on him, but he actually baited the Punk Gibson by putting 2 extra Dawns. So it was actually a really smart play, because I was like, okay, if he plays Punk Gibson, that's why I swung with Okiku first. Well, of course I had to swing with Okiku first. So Okiku first, rest the Hawkins, and then I put 10 to his 6, so he'd have to play what's it called, 2 cards in his hand, and essentially he did, so it's not awful, but that Hawkins survives, which actually makes things a little bit more complicated. Then I'm gonna swing 7 at my leader, at his leader. I'm gonna swing 9 at his leader, and we're both now at 1 life. However, I'm in a much better spot than he is. He has Hawkins, and he has an 8-drop kid. I have double Law, I have Hawkins, and I have 8-drop kid and an Okiku. So even if he does, the reason I swing right here, right, is because even if he does find a way to get rid of this kid on my field, which like there's almost no way that he can, especially because the cards in my hand, then he's gonna lose next turn, right? So he either like there's no winning situation for him at this point, because I played so aggressive that turn, right? I knew like like Basil going into that turn, Basil actually was my #1 priority to kill, but because he unrested his Basil, now I figured like there's no way that you can win this game, because if you unrest your Basil, I'm gonna swing at your life and put pressure on you, so you cannot actually like kill me next turn, because you have to dedicate resources to actually surviving. So that's kind of the thing. It's like in a lot of mirror matches, you have to, like, especially if it's an aggressive deck that has a lot of kill pressure like Kid, you have to dedicate a lot of resources to attacking and surviving, you know, and defending your strategy, defending your win condition. At this point, Kid is both of our win conditions along with the Hawkins. So he's gonna put 2. He's gonna play 3-drop killer, kill my Okiku, and then he's gonna put 2 on what's it called? He's gonna put 2 on Kid. I counter out of that with 11 to his 10, and then he swings with Hawkins. I block with Law, and then he swings again. I play a 2K counter, and then he plays Killer. He puts 1 on Killer, and he's just gonna pass. He's gonna pass. So I'm still not in an awful position in the slightest. He has two blockers, but I'm pretty sure I have an Ezo on my hand, so that actually doesn't matter in the slightest. And I have I have all the cards I need to break this board, and he doesn't have a lot of cards in his hand because he used so much to try to like to try to play offensively, and he didn't really like. He just never really had the cards in his hand. I feel like I was getting so much value swinging at his cards, so that he had to counter out of a lot of cards. So he didn't really keep a lot in his hand. Unlike me, I have a ton in my hand. So my #1 priority is breaking this board. So what am I going to do to break this board? I'm going to play Ezo offensively. Like I said, you always want to play that card offensively, because in this mirror, like these blockers are very important. Every swing counts. So I'm going to put 4 on Hawkins, and I'm going to swing 10 at his. His kid, and I'm gonna swing. He's gonna counter out of that. I'm gonna swing 10 more, and he's gonna block that with Law. And then what do I do here? Okay, so I remember this is a very huge turning point in this game. I contemplate, because I have a Raizo in my hand. I think I either have a Raizo or an Okiku in my hand, and I contemplate like putting one. I forget what I was contemplating, but I think maybe I had a Punk Gibson. So I contemplated putting 1 on Kid and swinging for 9. But then I was like, I feel like if I don't take out his kid this turn, then he's going to take out my kid this turn. Or next turn, which is going to be a losing position for me, right? So I make a very, very, very risky play here, and I put all 3 on Kid, and I'm like, I just got to go for it, and I'm going to swing 11 to his 8. He looks at the cards in his hand, he can't do it, he goes down, and then I almost make an even riskier play. I almost swing with this Law into his Hawkins, but I was like, that's a terrible idea too. So I don't do that, guys. I actually, the entire tournament, I kept making misplays by attacking with blockers when I shouldn't have attacked with blockers. So I told myself when I was in Top Cut I was not going to make that mistake again, and I almost made it again. Luckily I didn't. I kept that Law to protect that kid, because that's my win condition at that point. I need as many cards as possible, and playing aggressive for no reason, I'm not going to kill him that turn anyway, and giving him an extra card to break my board just isn't a winning condition. It isn't conducive to winning. So I just swing at my leader to his killer and pass my turn. Now he's in the same situation I described the last turn, right? Is because even if he kills this kid, he still loses the next turn, because I have so much like swing potential, because I have double swing with Kid, and then I have Basil, then I have Okiku's or not Okiku, and Izo's a swing, and then Law could possibly be a swing, depending on how it all plays out. So he's gonna go ahead and put 4 on Hawkins. He's gonna swing 10 to my Kid, and I'm gonna counter out of this one with 11, and then he's gonna just put, he's gonna restand him, swing 10, and I'm gonna counter out of that one with Law. So now he has to make the choice: is are you gonna try to break my board? Are you gonna try to kill that kid? Or are you gonna play blockers to try to stall and save yourself the game, because you don't have an 8-drop kid to protect you this turn? So he's gonna make the smart play here in a second, and he's gonna play Law from his hand. Let's see. Yeah, he's gonna play Law in his hand, and he's gonna pick up the Izo for the 2K counter. And then he's just going to play an Okiku from his hand. So that way, if I don't somehow kill him this turn, then he has a chance to possibly kill me next turn. So that's kind of the strategy he has here. I don't think he thought he was going to win by any means, unless he got lucky and triggered like a Punk Gibson off of the life. But even then, I don't think it's possible for him to win. So I don't have a lot of cards in my hand either, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and play it, right? So I spread out my Dawn a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use those 3 for the Law swing or the Kid swing if I need to. I'm gonna put 8 on Hawkins, and I'm going to swing at his Hawkins. Obviously, you swing at his Hawkins first so you can get the restand. You get the most value out of your cards. And then that Hawkins is going to go down, so I'm not nearly as worried now. And then I debate it, right? Because I want to swing at his life, but I want to actually swing. I want to bait him a little bit because I want to swing. I swing 5 at his life to see if he rests his Law, but he doesn't. He's smart. He counters out of that. So then I just go ahead and swing 8 with Hawkins, and he goes ahead and takes that because there's no reason for him not to take that. And then I'm gonna just finish off the game here. I'm gonna put 1 on my Kid, and I'm gonna swing double 7 at his life. And I think that's the game here, boys. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.